Willpower is a scam. If you're still trying to quit any addiction by just relying on your willpower alone, you are wasting your time. You can only quit an addiction when you stop relying on your willpower and do this. Quitting an addiction is very hard, but you can't do that by just being the stronger person. Let me ask you, has there been a time in your life when you are trying to fight an addiction? Maybe you are an alcoholic, maybe there are things that you indulge in that are not so morally alright, that you're not so proud of, that you really want to stop, things that are draining your finances, things that are taking you away from your family time, from the productive time that you have to do some things. These are the things we are going to talk about in this video. How to really say no to an addiction. It's not by magic, it's not by being the stronger person, but it's actually by laying down these simple plans that you can use and really fight this addiction. So let's dive into it. Hi there, if you're just meeting me for the first time, I'm Obina, your friend who come online to talk about the challenges that we face as humans and also provide solutions that we can use, simple solutions that we can use to walk around these challenges and overcome them. I share my stories, I hear from you also in the comment section. Kindly click on the subscription button, the notification bell. You can also like and comment your intentions and your questions so I'll get to know you. So here's my story. I have this addiction that I've been trying to stop for years. I tried as a human being to really put an end to it, but it was quite difficult. I read books, I listened to some people, I did so many things. I relied mostly on my willpower. Yes, whenever I have this urge to do this thing, I'll say no, I'll stand up, I'll be the man, I'll fight this thing. Why still been there? But all these things didn't really help me much because I'll make headway for a short time and I'll also relapse. It pained me. I felt guilty. I asked myself, is there not something else that I can do other than just being the stronger person? That was when I sat down and derived steps, measures that I can actually use myself. That is my plan that will work for me. And that was when I started seeing real change. Yes, and here I am to share to you. I want you to know that addiction is not a moral failure. Yes, it is not a moral failure. It is a learned habit. Your brain has found a new way, a better way to derive pleasure. It is a learned habit. If you know how this habit that you've learned works, you will know how to solve it. These practical steps that we're going to talk about, you can choose the one that will fit you, that you can work with. You mustn't do all of them. Just stick to few. The first step to finding solutions to an addiction is to realize that there is a problem. You need to tell yourself the truth, that I have a problem, that I'm moving the problem to my problem. Yes, when you realize this, you have started making headway. Because sometimes we don't know that we have this habit that is draining us, that is weakening us, that is draining our finances, that we are not so proud of. We wallow in ignorance. So when you realize that I have a problem and it needs to stop, that's when you will start making headway. After the realization that there's a problem, you need to start making concrete plan. You need to write down all the possible triggers, all the things that you think that you've noticed over time. Look inward, you will see there are things that trigger you to these addictions, to fall into those temptations that lead it to your addiction. Good learned habits. There are places that you stay and you do those things. There are things that you do that will make you feel better, and then the next thing you will start doing your addiction. You head straight to your addiction. List those triggers out. Get to know them. Those urges, what causes them? Sincerely write them down. Also, after you've written those urges down, you now start asking yourself, what should I do when those urges come up? What should I replace those urges with? Maybe you can write, when I have this urge to do this thing that I've done over time, I will do this and this. Let's say when I have the urge to drink, maybe I'll do 10 push-ups. When I have the urge to do something also that is not morally right, maybe I'll walk away from the sin. Maybe you're easily offended. You're addicted to anger. Addiction is of many types. So when you know these urges, the things that trigger them, you write them down. So try to replace them with things that you can actually do instead of paying attention to those urges. And you should think it fast. Things that you can do within the first 5 seconds of those urges. Let's say I have the urge to do something that is not good, to fan those my addiction to flame. I'll rise and do something else. Immediately, I won't think twice. Put out this plan down so that you know that when this thing happens, I'll do it immediately, beforehand, before the addiction starts happening. The next thing you can do in stopping an addiction is to delay the choice. Delay it. You ask yourself, yes, if I do this thing, I'll feel better. I've done this thing over time, and this is what I am used to. But I know there's a problem. I've laid down the plan, what to replace the urge with. Now, I need to delay doing this thing, maybe for 10 minutes, maybe for 10 days. When you're doing this thing, you are readjusting your brain, your orientation to things that are more important than this. That weight helps you to strategize more, to be more aware of your environment, of your triggers, of your urges. And you'll see, before that delay time comes, that urge must have subsided. You may not even want to do it again. You may have replaced it with something else, with an activity. The next thing we can do in fighting our addiction is to have short phrases that we can use to defend ourselves, to withdraw ourselves from situations that lead us to our addiction. We can say, thank you for this offer. I'll be skipping tonight. I won't be joining you tonight. I won't be joining you today. I think I have something that I will do. Let me finish this and maybe I'll join you. Write things down that you can use as an excuse. Very short phrases. All those phrases is just you telling no to those triggers without fear. Maybe you have this friend that you hang out with that makes you to drink on a regular basis, that make you to do things that you are not so comfortable with. When that friend comes over to invite you to those occasions that will lead you to your addictions, you can use those simple phrases that you've written down to withdraw yourself, to make excuse for yourself, to buy time for yourself in order to fight this addiction. Sincerely, intentionally, without fear. Don't think you will feel bad or she will think I'm not her friend again. Even if she feels bad, even if she considers you less a friend, you are working on yourself. You are working on your value. You are now aware that you have a problem and you need to solve it. So those simple phrases will actually help you to buy some time to excuse yourself from those occasions that will lead you to your addiction. Addiction is an activity that you do over time. It's a habit. It's an action. When you substitute this action with something else, you will see that you'll be more engaged than doing those things that you call addiction. So in this step, we try to replace this addiction with another habit. Whenever I have this urge, what will I do? I'll do this something else. Maybe I'll drink cold water. I'll take a cold shower. I'll go and discuss with a friend, a family member. I'll go and play tennis. I'll go and play football. I'll do something else. I'll even start cooking. Even if I'm not hungry, I'll go into the kitchen and start cooking. Intentionally, just to replace this addiction with something else. To fight an addiction and being aware that you have a problem, that this addiction is leading you to do things that you're not proud of, and you've identified the urges, the triggers, things that trigger you to do these things. It is now time to remove those triggers that trigger you to your addiction. Most times, you don't just wake up and start doing things that you know that you are not proud of. There are things that lead you to those things. So remove those things, those triggers, identify them on time, take them away, keep them aside, and you start seeing real change. If you're an alcoholic, you drink too much of alcohol. When you hang out with friends or meetings or those places that trigger you to those things, you may avoid those places quite all right. You may actually replace those alcohol with drinking water. Remove those triggers, all those things that tempt you, take them away. They can be as little as your phone. If you don't have anything to do with your phone at the moment, keep it aside. You may be addicted to your phone, social media, scrolling endlessly, and you don't really have plan at this time to use social media. You don't have anything you're just looking for. You take hours on your phone, endlessly, productive hours. You can keep it aside and attend to it whenever you know that this is what I want to do with it. And do that thing and still keep it aside. If you don't have intention to go out, to hang out, please don't go. Keep it aside. If it may lead you to this. If you know there are websites that are not morally right, and when you go there, you see yourself doing things that are not so good, that you won't be proud of, keep it aside. Sit down, list out all those things that tempt you, all those your temptations. List out all the possible ways that you can avoid them. Most times, the best way is just to stay away from them. Don't even try to fight them. Remove yourself from the occasion. Those occasions that lead you to your addiction, take yourself away from it. This time sometimes removes those urges. When we remove those things that tempt us aside, we'll start seeing real change in our life, in the way that we'll live, in the way that we'll approach those temptations, in the way that we'll approach our habits. And eventually those addictions will start dropping down gradually. It won't be automatic, but gradually you will see that you will not be a stronger person, a more mature person that is stronger, not just by willpower or not just strong physical strength, but because you have a plan that you are adhering to. And this plan is actually working out for you. There's this very nice step that I used personally that worked for me. And that is counseling. When I was fighting my temptation, my urges, my addiction, I asked myself, is this temptation peculiar to me? Is this urge peculiar to me? Is this addiction peculiar to me? Am I the only one really going through this thing? Has there not been anybody that has passed through this phase of my life that I'm facing now? I need to start talking to somebody. I met a counselor, somebody that is well knowledgeable in the field, that have handled cases like mine. I spoke to the counselor. I told him not to judge me, and he didn't. That's funny actually. He saw me as a human that is trying, that is making effort to be a better person. He welcomed me. That speaking out to somebody else didn't just help me. It wasn't just the solutions that he gave me that was useful to me. That boldness, that courage that I used to approach him, to really sit down and speak to him about my inner feelings, about these things that I'm fighting, about my addiction, really helped me. After my conversation with him, a lot of things changed. When I started putting down all those strategies, I asked him to also be checking up on me, that I always do this thing at this particular time. Please, Whenever it's this time, please call me. Regularly, he calls and checks up on me to know how I'm faring. And those conversations that extended really helped me to get rid of my addiction. So speaking out is important. Speaking out to someone that you can trust, someone that knows better than you, someone that has passed through this phase. It might be your parents, it might be your spouse, it might be a counselor, it might be a good friend that you can confide in, that I have a problem, that this is my issue. I don't know how to solve this. Be sincere. Open up. You'll be amazed about the kind of result that you get. We don't know everything. There are times that we will need help. And if those times come, just like this, seek for help. Don't just feel that you can solve it all alone. Sometimes we need external help. I used it, it works for me. It can also work for you. It works for everybody most times. Know that nothing lasts forever. You can wait out an addiction. An addiction can be delayed. When you know your urge, you can delay it to the extent that you actually forget about it. You don't have to. You don't just have to. But you can wait out all this urge. When it comes, you can actually wait, delay it to the extent that you forget to do it. It works. It's the simplest thing that you can do. Delay method. Still using the phone as an example. I can delay the time I check on social media. Just for me, I can delay the time I indulge in something. That delay, most times, will lead me to forget about doing that. It is an intentional delay. Attending to my urge at that particular time may lead me to my addiction that I'm not so proud of. And because I am conscious of suffering my addiction, I need to intentionally delay the time I attend to my urges. Now I know my urges. I know when they come. I know what I do that will lead me to do the things that I'm not proud of. I delay them. Sometimes a simple sleep can help you to forget about your addiction. So you can take a rest, take a walk away from your room, from your vicinity, from that place, that occasion. You walk away, take a longer time to come back, and you start seeing real changes. It's not magic. For you to stop an addiction, you need to have a relapse plan. What you will do when you fall. You are human. You won't always succeed. There are times you try, you fail. In that failure, consider it as an information, as a lesson to be learned. You don't need to feel bad that it's not working out. Have that relapse plan. Maybe it can be, I'll try again. You may be looking at your plan again, going through the plan and see, did I pay attention to this urge when it came? Did I replace it with something else? Did I delay it? Did I walk away from the occasion? Did I speak to a counselor? Was I sincere to myself? When you look at all those your plan, in your failure, you'll be able to identify that there may be a place that you didn't really pay much attention to. And next time, using your relapse plan, you see that you approach those addictions better. You approach those your urges, those things that trigger it to them better. If you have tried and failed, keep trying. Just know you are learning. It's not easy. We've all been there. You are not alone. You're not the only one fighting this addiction. Keep trying with curiosity. Try to learn new things, new ways to approach your urges, new way to approach your addiction, new ways to do things that are better than what you are not so proud of. So all these things will help you to really quit your addiction and keep it aside and start doing things with your productive time. Because those addictions are taking away your time that you can use to do something else. Things that you can use to attend to family, things that you can use to attend to your finances, things that you can use to attend to your work, things that are more positive that will affect you and the environment. I'd like to hear from you in the comment section. What are the strategies that we are using to fight your addiction? Let's learn together. I'm your friend, Obina. Kindly click on the subscription button, the notification bell to know when the next episode drops.